Once upon a time, in the busy town of Sundarpur, lived a young man named Arav. He was the only son of a wealthy merchant who owned the largest sari shop in the market. Arav had a life of comfort, fine clothes, expensive shoes, and a fast car. But there was one thing he lacked: respect for hard work. His father often said, "Arav, this shop is not made of bricks and cloth alone. It stands on 40 years of honesty, sweat, and trust." Arav would laugh and reply, "Why work so hard? Father, we have enough money for many lifetimes." One unfortunate day, Arav's father passed away. The entire business now belonged to Arav. But instead of managing it responsibly, he spent his days partying with careless friends. He opened the shop late, spoke rudely to loyal customers, and ignored advice. When the old manager tried to guide him, Arav fired him. Slowly, customers stopped coming. The once crowded shop grew silent. Still, Arav didn't worry. To fund his lavish lifestyle, he began selling the shop's assets, first silk, then cotton, and finally, even the furniture. One evening, a greedy rival approached him. "Sell me the shop," the man said. "I'll give you a bag of gold." Blinded by easy money, Arav signed the papers without a second thought. In just 1 minute, he sold his father's life's work. For a year, Arav lived like a king. But money without effort disappears quickly, like water leaking from a broken pot. Soon, the gold was gone. His rich friends vanished. He lost his house. He lost his car. One cold, rainy night, Arav found himself sleeping on the stone steps of a temple, hungry, alone, and shivering. That was the end of the careless son's journey. The next morning, Arav walked to a small tea stall near the market. From there, he saw his old shop bright, busy, and full of customers. Tears rolled down his cheeks. "Why are you crying, son?" a gentle voice asked. It was Rashid Uncle, the old tea seller who had watched Arav grow up. With his head lowered, Arav said, "I lost everything. I am a failure." Rashid Uncle handed him a hot cup of tea and said, "You haven't lost everything. You lost money, but you still have your hands and your time. This time, earn your future." Arav hesitated. "Who will give me work? I was once a rich owner. I can't do small jobs." Rashid Uncle smiled. "Work is never small. If you want to eat, wash these glasses." Swallowing his pride, Arav rolled up his sleeves and began washing tea glasses. The water was cold, his hands rough, but for the first time in his life, he worked honestly. Arav worked at the tea stall for 2 years. He saved every coin, learned patience, and treated customers with respect. He understood that respect is earned, not bought. With his savings, he bought a small basket and began selling flowers outside the temple. He gave fresh flowers with a warm smile. People trusted him. The basket became a cart. The cart became a small shop. Years passed. Arav was no longer arrogant. He was disciplined and humble. One day, the merchant who had bought his father's shop decided to retire and put it up for sale. Arav walked into his office and placed a heavy bag of money on the table. "I'm buying it back," he said calmly. The merchant stared in shock. "Are you the same Arav who wasted everything?" Arav smiled softly. "No. That boy was lost on the streets. I am the man who rebuilt himself from zero." Arav reclaimed his father's shop, but this time, he opened it early, every morning, treated workers like family, and served customers with honesty. He finally understood that the real treasure was not money or buildings, but discipline, humility, and hard work.